It's not like you had a traumatic childhood. You were loved, but that love was conditional, based on how you acted, not consistent warmth, not unconditional acceptance. You were loved for being good, for getting good grades, for not crying, for hiding your emotions, for staying quiet when you were hurt, for not causing problems. You constantly scanned, is mom in a good mood today? Will dad get angry if I ask? Should I stay quiet to keep the peace? So you learned to earn your existence, and 20 years later, you're still earning, still performing, still exhausted. This is the cost of conditional love. Let me show you 3 patterns that install error codes in high-functioning individuals. Pattern 1. You grew up conditionally loved, not necessarily abused, just unseen, or only seen when you performed. You cried, and the response was, "Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about." So you learned to swallow your tears and pretend nothing happened. And the praise came. "That's my boy, that's my girl." Your brain learned love equals performance, worth equals achievement. Error code installed. I must earn existence. Pattern 2. You grew up too fast. Someone had to be the adult, and it was you. You managed emotions, yours, theirs, everyone's, before you were ready. Someone asked, "Do you need anything?" And you said, "No, I'm fine," even though you weren't, because mom already looked stressed, dad was already overwhelmed. So you learned, saying what I need equals adding burden. You can't ask, you minimize yourself constantly. Pattern 3. You grew up hyper-aware and became an emotional caretaker. You learned to read micro-expressions, anticipate moods, manage atmospheres. Mom just hung up the phone. You saw her face change, heard that sigh, and you immediately thought, "She's stressed, I need to stay quiet. Don't ask for anything right now." The teacher smiled less today. Their tone was sharper. And you calculated, should I do more in class? Should I be more helpful? I better stay even more quiet. Your brain developed elite-level pattern recognition to predict and prevent emotional instability. Error code installed. Constant vigilance equals survival. You scan every micro-expression, analyze every tone shift, brace for abandonment in stable relationships. If any of these sound familiar, here's what you need to understand. These weren't choices. These were adaptations. Your brain installed survival software, and it's still running. You might be thinking, wait, isn't it normal for parents to scold when kids mess up and praise when they do well? That's just parenting, right? Yes and no. Let me explain the difference. Conditional versus unconditional love. It's not about the praise or scolding. Praising good behavior and correcting mistakes, that's education, that's necessary. But here's where conditional love is different. It's not about whether you got praised or scolded. It's about whether love itself was used as a weapon. Conditional love says, if you don't get good grades, I'll be disappointed in you, and you'll feel me pull away. If you cry, I'll ignore you, I'll withdraw. When you fail to meet my expectations, our emotional connection gets cut off. The child learns, I have to perform to keep the connection alive. Unconditional love says, your behavior needs to change, but my connection to you, to who you are, will never break. The child learns, I can fail and still be safe. What unconditional love actually looks like. Unconditional love gives a child one critical thing, the certainty that there's a safe place to return to, even after failure. Example 1. The child breaks a cup. Conditional response, you're so careless. Why are you always like this? What's wrong with you? Ties the child's worth to their mistake. Unconditional response, the cup broke. Step back so you don't get hurt. Let's be more careful next time. I'm glad you're okay. Addresses the mistake, keeps the child safe. Example 2. The child gets angry or cries. Conditional response, stop that noise right now. Good kids don't cry. Be quiet or I'm leaving. The child learns, my emotions make me unlovable. Unconditional response, you're really upset right now. I can see that. Even when you're angry, I'm still here. When you're ready, we can talk. The child learns, my emotions don't threaten the connection. See the difference? Conditional love says, your value depends on your performance. Unconditional love says, you are valuable. Your behavior might need adjustment, but you are safe. What this means for you now. You're an adult now. You can't go back and get that unconditional love from your parents. So what do? You debug the system, yourself. But self-love doesn't mean standing in front of a mirror saying, I'm special. That's not debugging. That's a band-aid. Real self-parenting is engineering work. Old system, you internalized your parents' standards. You judge yourself by their metrics. You whip yourself when you fail. New system, you become your own system's administrator. When an error happens, instead of self-blame, you analyze the logs and reallocate resources. Here's the shift. Past, I failed, I'm worthless, tying identity to performance. Present, error detected. What triggered this? What resource was depleted? How do I restore system stability? The core problem. Of course your parents praised and scolded you. That's normal parenting. But here's what went wrong. Your worth got tied to your achievement. Your existence became conditional on your performance. And now, decades later, you can't separate the two. Unconditional love means even at zero achievement, even at your lowest, even when you've produced nothing, your system registers, my worth is inherent. I am safe by default. That's what we restore at the lab. Not positive affirmations, not coping strategies. We restore your default setting, safety. We debug the code that says, I must earn my existence. And we install the protocol that says, I am safe by default. That's the engineering fix. That's unconditional love as a system setting, not a feeling, a foundation. So here is what to do now. Stop adding effort. Start tracking logs. Don't try to do better. Just observe. Today, identify one moment where cognitive energy drained fastest. Just one. Write it down. Was it the way your partner didn't look up when you walked in? Your child's face when they got off the bus? You knew immediately something was wrong. Your boss using your full name instead of your nickname. Your friend's text message ended with a period instead of the usual emojis. Your mother-in-law saying, that's interesting, in that tone. That's your leak point. That's where the error code is running. Now, here's what to do with it. Identifying the leak isn't the end, it's the interrupt. The moment you recognize it happening, right when you feel that energy drain, that stomach drop, that mental spiral starting, you have a 3-second window. Run this protocol. Step 1. Name it out loud or in your head. Case observed. That's it. Not, I did something wrong. Not, I need to fix this. Just, case observed. Step 2. Create distance. Create mental distance. Count backwards from 10. Focus on one object in the room for 30 seconds. Take 3 deep breaths, exhaling longer than inhale. This isn't calming yourself down. It's interrupting the automatic loop. Step 3. Do nothing. This is the hardest part. You want to apologize immediately, fix something that might not be broken, ask, are you okay, for the 3rd time, send a follow-up text explaining yourself, overcompensate with helpfulness. Don't. Just pause. Wait. Observe. Give reality a chance to show you this wasn't about you. Here's what happens when you wait. 90% of the time, you discover it wasn't about you at all. Your husband was stressed about a work call. Your child had a rough day with a friend. Your boss was rushing to another meeting. Your friend was just multitasking. But because you paused instead of spiraling, you saved hours of cognitive energy. You didn't spend 3 hours replaying the interaction, apologize for something you didn't do, overcompensate and exhaust yourself, lose sleep running diagnostics on a non-problem. And here's the critical part. Even if it was about you, pausing gives you the space to respond strategically instead of react desperately. And yes, it's a lot easier said than done, because error codes are specific. Your version of hypervigilance isn't the same as someone else's. Your I'm a burden programming has unique triggers based on your specific childhood installation. Your compulsive achievement runs on your specific conditional love pattern. This is why generic therapy doesn't work. What you actually need is forensic analysis on which childhood moments installed which codes, how those codes manifest in your system specifically, what triggers reactivate them, where your sovereignty is being stolen, and what engineering fix your architecture needs. You need diagnostics and your specific error code identification. This is where Why I Feel This Way Lab can help. We don't do therapy. We do forensic audits. We analyze your exact childhood installation patterns, your precise cognitive architecture, and the engineering fix your system needs. Not generic advice, not universal healing, not everyone struggles with this. Your specific error code, your specific malfunction, your specific fix. Click the link below. Submit your case. Before you go, if you recognized yourself in today's story, you're not weak. You adapted to survive childhood environments that required it. The hypervigilance that exhausts you now, it kept you safe then. The inability to receive help, it prevented disappointment when help wasn't coming. The compulsive achievement, it earned conditional love when nothing else would. The emotional shutdown, it protected you from unbearable pain. The I'm a burden programming, it made you small enough to not be rejected. These weren't failures. These were brilliant adaptations. They just became error codes when the environment changed, and now they're running on hardware your adult life they weren't designed for. Understanding this doesn't make the exhaustion disappear, but it transforms it from something's wrong with me to I have a diagnosable system malfunction, and diagnosable problems have engineering solutions. Get your forensic audit, understand your error code, optimize your elite system. The lab is ready when you are.